Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Hope that you are doing well. I just got finished doing some work outside, and for once it wasn't too hot. So, to celebrate a little bit of refreshment, a little bit of time inside, let's move on into the next track here, Blackfield. Blackfield 2, the album being 2007 release date, and that track will be Someday that we are checking out here. And this is one of those cooler days out here, even though it's almost 1 o'clock in the afternoon. We're listening to this because this was sponsored by Matt. Matt, thank you so much for sending in the request. I truly appreciate that. Shall we go ahead and dive in? Discuss it a little bit after? Here we go.
When you were a boy, you had no place inside your parents' world. You were falling like the leaves from an old and dying tree. You went to school, but the teachers made you feel a fool, while the children played with joy. You're the one they would avoid.
I like those ominous kind of chords and scales used here.
Someday you will find a better place to stay.
I like the little keyboard sound there.
You'll never need to feel this way again. Show your smile. They'd like to have you in their members club. They'll buy you drinks and tell you lies. Paper umbrella with some ice.
It's all fake smiles.
No one cares about that fucking pretty face you have.
Sounds like either a choir or maybe like Mellotron back there.
Much this life.
Or something like it.
So find the highest cliff and dive. Someday you will find a better place to stay. You'll never need to feel this way again. Someday you will find a better place to stay. You'll never need to feel this way again.
That's a nice moment right here. And hitting the fade out too, huh? Okay, I want to talk about Someday. Someday 3/4 of this track, 75%, but I would bump it, honestly, to a little bit more than that. I really like. But there's one particular moment I don't care for. I'll get to that in a second. This is a track that lyrically portrays the feeling and the person, whoever they're talking about, could be you, could be me, could be someone else. But it portrays the feeling of isolation and alienation, disconnect from others, and wanting to be part of the others. And of course, like, who doesn't want to be that, especially like in school, like in a social place where you're defined almost by who you hang out with and who your friends are, and who doesn't want to belong somewhere. And so this is talking about someone that just doesn't fit in. They're seen as the outcast, and they feel like the outcast, and they're dwelling and kind of spiraling in themselves. And even when they get invited places, it feels fake, and they can even tell it's fake. Like it's really capturing that kind of theme. And I think that the music captures it superbly. The singing, the melodies on the guitar. I love that keyboard melody that comes in. It first comes in around the chorus, I want to say, and it just has this really nice kind of peaceful tonal effect. But the chords are shifting into some ominous territory. There's something very apprehensive about it. Really, really solid. Really, really enjoy how that plays. And I like how somber the mood is, and how, like I said, isolated and alone it actually feels. The music actually feels as the lyrics say. Alone, alienated, and disconnected. Really, really, genuinely works excellently. There's one thing, just one, it's one thing that I think, I won't say kills the mood, but it takes away, for me, it takes away some of the power of the mood. This is all gorgeous, fantastic. Wonderful. Love those hypnotic keys just floating there. Okay, stop. Right there, there's a pause. There's a hesitation. It's kind of building up towards something. We listen to music here. In a typical song structure, something's about to happen there. It's 2 minutes and 20 seconds into a 4-minute song. Something, some change, some transition, some new element, something's going to happen right there. I will tell you, I do not like that drum beat. I don't think it fits at all. I dislike it. Not going to harp on it, but I dislike that. I think it kind of throws off the mood that was established there. That's all I have to say. However, let's not focus on what I don't like, because it comes back in a grand way. Here, oh God, I'm going to see if I can find it. It comes back, man. Let it ride. The guitar, right? Harping something. It's the harbinger. You got the fill. Where's it going next? See, another transition. From that buildup, something else is coming. What could it be? Now, that makes up for it. That feels so satisfying. That's such a beautiful climax. That's what the track's building up to. I didn't like how the drum came in. Get that out of here. But what it ends up at is excellent. Great beginning. Fantastic first part of the middle. A little let down on the second half of the middle. But man, that return with the orchestration. Wonderful drum sound. That is just fantastic how that all comes together. That's awesome. When you were a boy, you had no place inside your parents' world. You were falling like the leaves from an old and dying tree. You could say that the tree is the family tree. You went to school, but the teachers made you feel a fool. While the children played with joy, you're the only one they would avoid. So the children are having fun, they're doing their thing, but you're the one that they would avoid on the schoolyard. Someday, you will find a better place to stay. You'll never need to feel this way again. You will find that place. That's the message of hope. That's the silver lining in this very stormy cloud. Show your smile. They'd like to have you in their members club. They'll buy you drinks and tell you lies. Paper umbrella with ice. Okay, so like I said, this is the fakeness, right? The fakeness of others. They'll have you in their members club for whatever reason. They're using you in a sense, probably, to be in their club. They don't really care about you. They care about maybe what you're bringing with them. No one cares about that pretty face you have. It means nothing much, this life, so find the highest cliff and dive. And it repeats the lyrics again, or the chorus rather again. Someday you'll find a better place to stay. You'll never need to feel this way again. And of course, in the lowest point, that's how they feel. Maybe this is the inner voice trying to edge them towards the void, you could say. You know, this is saying you went to school. This is from a second person point of view, right? You went to this. It doesn't mean much. Maybe, but we're taking the point of view of like that negative voice in your head. But where there's a devil, there's also an angel. Someday you'll find a better place. And I think the lyrics really capture all of that really nicely. I think the music captures it really nicely. Yeah, I didn't like the one little drum beat, but everything on either side of this particular track is wonderful. The bread is good. The meat is good. Didn't care for the cheese choice, but the other side of the bread is also good. Let me know what you guys think, of course, down below. Matt, thank you so much for the recommendation. Thank you for sending in the request. Truly appreciate it. Hope that you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you all next time. Bye.